Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the VGM Lounge. It's me, Derek.
And it's me, Matt. It's been some time there, Derek.
Yes. So me and Matt took about a month and a half break. I am now officially a father. Definitely needed some. Yeah. I got a daughter. She is 4 weeks old now, and it kind of just needed some time to adjust to that, and we're getting back on schedule.
Perfectly understandable.
Yes. So the song we've got here is Final Fantasy IX, Gestures of the Moon. Matt thought it would be fun to open this episode with this, because, we're a couple of clowns, and we're just clowning around this episode. And, in general.
Yep.
So,
what we have in store is no theme episode, freestyle.
Yeah, we thought, life's been pretty hectic. We both got a lot of stuff going on with the virus, and we're both dads. I am just getting into the swing of it, so been a lot of sleepless nights, so thought we'd make it, carefree, easygoing, not too much stress, me building a playlist, and we're just gonna do a free play.
The joys of the free play.
We can just play some songs we like, maybe some ones we found listening to some other podcasts, or maybe we just had some ones we didn't get to play on other episodes. I've got a few of those. Just, ones that we're like, oh man, we really like the song, but haven't gotten a chance to play them yet.
Indeed. And I guess with this being even episode, I will have to start us off.
You are. By the way, Gestures of the Moon is the theme of Zorn and Thorn, the two evil yet foolishly silly jesters who serve the Queen. And
Queen Braun.
Yeah, it's Queen Braun. Composed by, of course, Nobuo Uematsu.
Yay!
So Matt, yes, as you said, it is an even episode, which means you get to start us out.
Then I shall start. And my first pick is going to be from a Final Fantasy game.
Okay.
There's my little segue there.
Yeah, that works.
But this Final Fantasy game is not by Nobuo Uematsu.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, this is because I decided to choose Final Fantasy Tactics.
Delightful.
Oh yes, I figured you'd enjoy this one. The song that I decided to pick is Trisection.
Yes, this is one of the common battle themes. It's one of my favorites, actually.
I believe isn't it technically not the first battle theme, but your first battle theme when you basically get started as fresh recruits in the academy.
I can't remember. That is one thing I will admit about the Tactics. I've played through the game probably 50 times, and that's not an exaggeration. I have the soundtrack. I literally have it sitting on my shelf over there, and I love every song from this game. However, due to the way that the songs are named, like Trisection, Antiparetic, etc., I can never remember. Yeah, I can never remember which one is what location until I hear it. I've listened to I've listened to the soundtrack so many times, but if you just said a name of one of the songs, I can't remember where it takes place in the game until I hear how it sounds.
Well, Derek, I'm in a similar boat as you when it comes to music from Tactics, because until I started looking up the songs, and obviously when you got the soundtrack, I had no idea what any of the song titles were actually for each one. So it's just, once I hear the battle theme, like you said, I can then be like, oh, I remember this song. It's this fight.
Yeah, I'm 100% right there, because again, I played through the game so many times before I had the soundtrack. And, there'd be the occasional time I might go on YouTube and be like, I really want to hear that song that plays on Door to Trade City. And I don't know what I'm searching. I just type in, Tactics Door to Trade City OST or something of that nature. And then, it says, this is this title. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's that one. And then, a month later when someone says that exact title, I'm like, okay, what stage was that again?
What map?
But it's interesting that you picked
Yeah.
Trisection, because I actually specifically was looking at the Tactics soundtrack, because, it's one of my favorite games, and I didn't actually pick any songs from it for this episode, so I'm glad you did.
Well, you're quite welcome. It's been a while since I've done anything with tactics, and I just I'm getting that itch again.
That's something I revisit many times, usually once or
Yes.
twice a year.
Well, let's go ahead and we'll reminisce a little bit more in a minute. So we'll go ahead and get into the song. All right. So here is Final Fantasy Tactics: Unavoidable Battle by Masaharu Iwata and Hitoshi Sakimoto.
Yeah. We'll
There
leave
we
it in.
go.
We'll leave it in for funsies. Matt picked a song that we've already played. This happens. Unfortunately, he picked Trisection, which was played on our 4th episode of Battles, but we will replace it with Unavoidable Battle from the same game.
Hooray me!
It's okay. I've actually done this earlier, and I think we edited it out, so full disclosure, I tried replaying Rockface Rumble from Donkey Kong Country 3. Not this episode, but it was a few episodes ago.
That's right. I remember that now.
So we both have one for us, Matt.
All right, cool. There we go. We both got one on the board.
So here, yeah, Unavoidable Battle from Tactics. Oh, Matt, Unavoidable Battle. So, our previous discussion of not remembering which song is from which fight, about one note into the song, I was like, yeah, that's Barry's Hill.
I couldn't remember which map Barriers Hill was, so I had to look it up. And as soon as I saw the image of the map, I was just like, "Oh yeah, that's where you fight the summoners."
Yep. I think it's fair to say this is probably the fight where the game's difficulty starts ramping up a little bit.
Yeah, because
Like, Chapter 1 is mostly easy.
it's the
Door to Trade
it's
City,
after you get
Mustadia.
yeah, Mustadio.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't used him, you're just like, oh crap, he's in this fight.
Yeah, because Chapter 1 is mostly easy. I mean, there's Door to Trade City, which can give some trouble to people, but the rest of the fights are fairly simple. Then Chapter 2 starts, you do Argwave Woods and Zerkyle Falls, and they're easy. And then you get Mustadio, and that mission can be a pain. And then the immediate next mission, there's it's Barrios Hill, and there's 2 summoners on the side, there's 3 knights and 2 archers, if I remember, and it's not a very nice map to you. It's very, weighed in the enemy's favor.
Yeah, especially with them, because I think those archers had bows, and they were just in. I mean, they had the higher ground, so they had
Yeah.
better.
And they had better bows
Better
than you could buy at the time, too.
shot. Oh yeah.
And it didn't help that the summon, you start out clustered together, and the only enemies are, straight forward up a hill, so you're like, well, I'm gonna go, towards those knights and those archers, and the summoners are like, cool, you're clustered, let's cast Shiva.
and
So
you're like,
that's
oh no, that's a summoner.
yeah. That and it's funny because the game doesn't tell you like it doesn't say like this map has this many enemies. So like if you just go gung ho into it, you might not even see that there's two summoners, and you like group your people up together without thinking, and then lose the first time you try it.
Yeah, because like the way the map, does the twist in the beginning.
Yeah.
If you're not super paying attention to that corner, you're not going to see the summoners at all.
Yeah, no. I really like getting to the actual song. I really like the clashes, the dun dun. It really like gives you a sense of you're in some tough territory.
Yeah, I mean it definitely shows that we're starting to get into the heavier stuff. You're getting to the deeper parts of the story.
Mm-hmm.
You're learning,
Your people are getting some stronger. You got some cool moves. The enemies are getting stronger. They're finally doing some advanced classes. I think this is
once the game starts throwing things other than here's a knight
and a monk and maybe
a
some
black
thief, some thieves. Yeah, this
always
is
thieves.
yeah. This is like the first battle where you get like enemy summoners, and it's actually kind of difficult. And basically from this point on, there's every single story map will have more enemies than allies.
Yeah,
it's pretty noticeable. I think this fight it's 7 or 8 to 5. Or no, to I guess to 6 because you have Agrias and Mustadio.
Yeah. I will say this map is super unfriendly to monks with the revive ability.
Yeah. Oh my god, let's not even talk about height disadvantages. The music itself, though, this is a really memorable tune. Like as I mentioned, I can't remember the song's titles, but like literally from the very first note, and I'm gonna let that replay, because I was like, which one's Unavoidable Battle? And like from that, I'm like, yeah, that's Barry as hell. Like it took me all of half of a second to remember which stage that was, because I played this game when I was a kid and I lost on this map a few times, so I got used to hearing that opening.
It is the unforgettable battle.
Yeah, it is. It is unavoidable. This is one you have to do. You don't get to skip this one, and it's not nice. But thank you for this one, Matt. Good tactics pick.
You're welcome. Since I've corrected myself.
Hey, these issues happen. The more songs we play, the more likely we are to want to pick songs that we enjoy.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, oh man, I really like this one. We already played that one. When? Last episode. Oh no!
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that one was played our 4th episode. That was almost that was more than half a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I forgive you. You don't have my master list of our set list right in front of you.
No, I should probably get a copy of that from you so I don't make mistakes.
Yeah. That being said, I am actually going to play a song I have directly mentioned. You remember Breath of Fire 3 Dondan, the second boss battle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned how the original boss battle is also really good, and I never got a chance to play it because I chose the second boss battle instead. So I figured, free play, don't really have any constraints. Why don't I go back to Breath of Fire and play that song that I mentioned was really good but never played? So I figured I'd choose not a song I have played, but a song I skipped over, and that is the Breath of Fire 3 boss. This is composed by Yoshino Aoki and Akari Kaeda.
All right, Derek, cue it up.
So Matt, I love that song, and I have a lot to say about it, but I want to hear what you have to say first.
I really enjoyed it, and I want to say, like for like a split second, um, it kind of reminded me of I want to say the battle theme, just like the regular battle theme from Chrono Cross for like a split second in some parts.
I suppose I could hear that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm thinking of the right battle theme.
Possibly. We'll off camera listen to that and see if it was the one you're thinking of. But like,
Yeah.
there's so many things I enjoy about the song. Like, I'm gonna replay it and we'll talk about it and maybe play it more than once. We'll see. The thing that hooks you like immediately is like the very first like second. It's got this great opening. That dun, 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 it like jumps right into it, you know.
Yeah, because it's like the encounter. It's you get into the random encounter and it's just like dun, 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 and you're like, oh no, and you're like, oh, it's time to fight.
Yeah, yeah. Because like usually you know every boss that's coming up, and you're not generally taken surprised by boss fights. There's the occasion where like you go into a room and it's like, oh, okay, we're doing a boss fight. And the song pops up, and what I love is this song is so perfect to just get you amped. It is straight up a hype song. And one thing that I super want to point out to listen to, Matt, how just straight nasty is that bass?
That bass, that bass is good though.
The bass is real good though. I've said it before, and my wife likes putting a joke at it, but I this is a song I will say where that bass is indeed crunchy.
That crunchy bass.
It's good. That opening, that dun 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 dun. I love how hype this song is, and it's really well composed. There's like a lot of instruments going to work, and that bass back there is it's killer. Oh, it's so good. And I love those little things like the dun 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 dun, like just to get you excited.
Yeah, and it's like it's this part. It was that part. That's the part that I'm thinking of. That reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
I think the battle theme from Chrono Cross.
Yeah, I'll rewind it back. I also love like this song like takes you on such a journey. Like each little part gets you more excited for the next part. Like I really like that that trill right there in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely takes you on like a little trip because it's like the boss battle, and it's like you're waiting to see like how the boss is gonna what the boss is gonna do next.
Yeah,
and I feel like that portrays or that translates well into this theme.
Yeah, and you got your Ryu, turned into his dragon form. You got your buffs going up. You're starting to hit him with some heavy moves. Boss is throwing out some heart attacks. It's just, oh man, this song, it's just so hype. I love it. It's got that just real nasty bass line back there.
The one guy in the back.
Just that. There's so much like this is.
We need the boss theme for this. How are we going to come across it? How about I just lay on a nasty bass and just going around that?
Just real dirty, just real sick nasty bass back there. And this part, the little twinkles. I love where the song like completely drops and then it's like drums are like just to get you back excited. Oh man, the Breath of Fire 3 has such a good boss theme. Like it's a really good one.
I'll agree with you on that. I did enjoy that theme.
It's so good, and it's like so complex.
I never got to play much of the Breath of Fires, so
we're gonna have to.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
absolutely. We'll definitely have to go through that together.
It's such a hype boss theme, and like that, we keep saying it, but that bass is so good.
I do enjoy it whenever we find a song that has a nice grungy slaptastic bass.
Yes, slap bass in video games might be like my favorite thing a composer can do. It's so unexpected, like, and you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that's that good stuff.
Ooh, good thing.
Get me in that groove.
I think we'll need to go into my next song, and I have a song thematically that can follow up Breath of Fire.
Okay.
I also have another.
So it's got a similar sound.
Not really. Not. Yes and no. It's similar in sound to. It gets me excited.
Okay. I'm excited to hear it.
I'm pumped up. I just get I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm ready for this. So the song that I picked is "Let It Die" from the game Let It Die.
Wait, this isn't the one we already played from Let It Die, is it?
No, it is not, because the last Let It Die that I played from Let It Die was Let It Die subtitle All Is Musical Chairs.
Ah, that's
This
right.
one is Let It Die subtitle theme of the game from Let It Die.
So, so the Let It Die from Let It Die.
Yes, Derek, it is Let It Die from Let It Die about Let It Die.
All right, well, let it play, Matt.
All right, here we go. This is Let It Die, game of the song from Let It Die.
Song title,
by
music, the
Piano
game.
Zombie. Composed by Piano Zombie.
Okay, the man, the myth, the legend, of course. Piano Zombie.
Piano Zombie bring you Let It Die from Let It Die about Let It Die.
All right, well, yeah, play that funky music, Piano Zombie. So, joking aside, Matt, you did not prepare me properly for that song.
No, I didn't.
One, I didn't know I was going to be, didn't know I was getting into a vocal track, although I guess I should have assumed it. And two, that was a banger.
I told you, like it gets you pumped.
Yeah,
It gets me pumped.
yeah. I'm thoroughly pumped.
I love the guitar riffs. That's just the
Right? Yeah. Much like our vocal episode, I don't wanna play that in the background and talk over it just because that's kind of a hot mess for vocal tracks.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, that was a good one. It was really good.
oh yeah, and like those dudes, like they don't ease up on the words in the beginning.
No, no, they go hard. I mean, definitely some some Japanese and English fused together there. Uh,
Mm.
I didn't of course understand the lyrics myself, but I was into them. I was definitely rocking out with that song.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I've said in our vocals episode when I played all his musical chairs, if you've never heard of the game, just go listen to the soundtrack
Yeah. Uh,
because the soundtrack is amazing.
yeah, I really need to. I never actually went back and listened to the whole soundtrack. I'm gonna have to do that after hearing two songs from the game. I'm convinced the rest are probably just as good.
The rest are really good, and like each song in the game is unique to like no two songs are done by the same band.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And yet I'm sure it still sounds like cohesive.
Oh, very. I mean, overall, when you look at the game, you're just like, I can't believe this is the soundtrack. And then, like, you hear some tracks from it, and you're like, okay, this one fits, but like, where does this one come in?
Right? I definitely need to check out the soundtrack. It was really good. Also, just again, Piano Zombie. That's all I really need to say. I was enjoying that.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey, if you liked this song from them, go check out more from Piano Zombie.
I will do that.
But I mean, yeah, it's to me, it's just a pumped up track. I like my vocal. I can also see this song being like a battle theme
Yeah.
in like a Persona game.
Yeah, I could certainly see that. That definitely could fit along of a similar caliber. All right,
Man,
so I get to follow
I'm
that
trying to
up,
imagine
Matt.
like I know. Like, so what you gonna toss our way next, Derek?
But I think I know
Could
what
you
I'm gonna
give me
play.
a brief summary of each of your games?
One is from a game you've played, and one is from a game you've probably never played. Um, I think I'm gonna go the one you've
Oh,
probably
you're the
never
one I
played.
haven't.
So this, have you ever heard of Great Battle 5?
No, I've not heard of Great Battle 5.
So this was a game I've never played personally. I'm just gonna start with that. So this game, I've watched gameplay of it, and this is me speaking as someone who's never played this game but has heard the soundtrack and knows it's good. And I wanted to slightly know what I was talking about, so I pulled up some gameplay footage, right? Uh, and what I saw was a menu that has a lot of Japanese text and a Gundam in chibi wearing a cowboy outfit, and Ultraman in chibi wearing a cowboy outfit, and another
Oh my
Sentai
god.
robot wearing a cowboy outfit. And it looks like it plays kind of like an arcade shooter, with like the cowboys who hide behind barrels and stuff like that, except you're a Gundam or you're Ultraman.
Oh my god.
So, so there's that,
Okay.
right? Yeah. And I was like,
I can see how that would be the Great Battle.
yeah, absolutely. So I heard the soundtrack long before I knew what this game was. I heard it on another podcast, and I was like, this song is amazing. I have to remember this one, and I want to share it with you, Matt, because it's really good. It's also really really hype. So I'm going to play Great Battle 5, the fourth stage, Hotel Data. And this is composed by Norihiko Togashi and Kennosuke Suemara. And I'm just going to play this one, Matt, and tell me afterwards if this is something that you would then want to go look up because of how good the music is.
I have a feeling I know what my answer is gonna be, but yeah, throw that song my way.
Yeah, I will do that. Here it comes. Great Battle 5, Hotel Dada. So yeah, Matt.
Derek, I feel like you lied to me. Is this from a Mega Man game?
Right? Is that? I was gonna say, is that Mega Man enough for you?
This is Mega Man stage, right?
It's not. No, it is. It is the Great Battle, which is a Super Famicom game that is.
Oh, no wonder I've never heard of it.
Yeah, no, I mean obviously you've never heard. I've never heard of it. I never played it, obviously. And the characters are Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and SD Gundam. Because why wouldn't they?
Oh my god.
And they're side-scrolling cowboy. But that music though.
I mean, it was pretty. It's pretty good.
It's pretty
I love
good.
that synth guitar.
Right? It is so Mega Man.
It is. Like I can visually see like a Mega Man stage, but like in the beginning, instead of you being like, okay, I'm gonna play as Mega Man, it's just like, okay, here's Kamen Rider, Gundam, and Ultraman, and they're all in cowboy outfit. You can't change that. Sorry.
Sorry, that's
go
locked
ahead
in.
and pick your character. And then, okay, now it's time to take on the stage. And then it's just like, you beam in ready. And it's just,
Oh Jesus!
there you are, SD Gundam style, but like you're Mega Man.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's the vibe I'm getting. It reminds me a lot of the Mega Man Vile stage theme from X3. I don't know if you remember what that sounds like, but it's very like high energy, amped up like that. I told you, man, I was gonna play some comfortable ones, not do some huge research for this episode, but I also had some surprises for you, and I think that was one of them.
Yay! Thank you.
Right.
I just love that lead for this song.
God, it's so good. It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, like,
and then this part right here is very like.
And it's just like I'm Ultraman.
This part right here kind of sounds very like Golden Sun, Tales of almost,
Yeah, I can definitely hear the Golden Sun vibe from it.
And it gets to this part, which is kind of like a. I don't know what vibe this part of the song gives me, but when that guitar hits, that is just straight up Mega Man.
Yeah, it's specifically a Mega Man X stage.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Specifically like an X3, because X3 had like that heavy guitar.
It did.
Well, I'm glad I could surprise you with this.
Yeah, I really enjoy this one.
This is a good one. Is it on your top 10, Matt?
That might be on my top 10.
It's a good one. Oh, it's like it. It surprised me when I heard this on a podcast.
It's not. It's also not like too over the. It's not as much as the description of the game itself.
No, it's not. It's not too over the top, but it hits you just like. It hits like all those like good sounding like video game music that I want.
Yes.
That riff I love so much. That's such a good riff. Yeah, I was listening to another podcast and I heard this. I was like, "What is this game?" Because this music's awesome. And then I like went and looked it up. I'm like, not what I was expecting, but okay.
What?
I was like, I'm gonna have to put this on my list of songs to play for Matt sometime. So there you go, Matt.
Well, thank you for finding that gem.
Yeah, what's your follow up to the Great Battle 5? Which I should mention, this is the fifth game in this series, so there's 4 more of these.
Right now, I'm even more curious. Oh man. Well, Derek, I'm gonna actually take us back to one of the games that I love to talk about a lot, and I only get to play a song from it every once in a while. And that's Spider, the video game.
Yes, I can't wait for this. I love every Spider song you've played.
I know. So the song that I picked is from the stage called Box's Machine Room.
Okay. I'm already excited. Go on.
Oh yeah. Well, it's from the stage where you are traveling along through a warehouse, jumping on boxes and like crane lifted boxes, all
right.
while you're dodging like cyber enhanced insects and
as you do,
hoping to God the bat doesn't find you.
Well, I have a perfect follow up for the song, but first let's hear your song.
Alrighty. Well, this is Box's Machine Room from Spider the Video Game by Barry Lech. All right, Derek, how did you like Box's Machine Room?
God, every time I'm like, whenever you play a Spider song, I'm like, man, I need to go check out the soundtrack. But then the other part of me is like, no, don't do that because Matt will play one, and then you get to be pleasantly surprised by it.
You get that treat.
Yeah, like I could easily go look up the Spider soundtrack and be like, man, every song in this game's great. But instead, I'm like, no, because Matt's gonna play one on the VGM Lounge, and I'm gonna be blown away every single time, which I am again.
You're welcome. I will say I'm still on the hunt for this game. I'm so upset with myself that I don't remember what I did with the copy that I had when I was younger. And if I had a time machine, I would go back in time and like slap myself in the face as a young child and be like, "Don't ever give up any video game you ever own."
Yeah, that was me. That's been where I'm at the past like I want to say like 5 to 10 years of my life. Because I younger would sell games because I don't know, I wanted a new game or something. And then,
Yeah,
months later, I'm like, oh man, I want to play that game. And then I'm like, nope, got rid of it. So basically,
well,
after like one too many times, I'm like, I'm never selling a game ever again. Why would I do this?
yeah, exactly. And that because at that point, it's you miss it for the nostalgia, and you miss it because you had a lot of fun
Yeah,
because it's a good game.
because you never know when one day you're gonna be digging through your game cabinet and be like, oh man, I just want to play this game, and then you look for it and you can't find it because it turns out you
Yeah,
got rid of
because
it.
like, for whatever reason, you still have like the manual for it, but not the game.
Yeah, because you just had to get that $2 trade in. Just
But
don't sell your games, people.
I
Come
love
on.
the way. Do what?
I was just saying, just don't sell your games, people. Just don't. It's not worth
Don't.
it. You'll want it again.
Um,
Trust me.
Well, I will say that there are some exceptions, I guess.
Well, yeah.
But I'm not going to get into that now because I don't want to relive the nightmare from when I had an Xbox One or no 360. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But the song, Matt.
The song, yes, I love how it starts with that machine pipe
Yeah.
like bass line.
Yeah, we've mentioned that before, where we like love when like the stage is like part of the soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the title says. It's the machine room. There's like it's a warehouse, so it has this awesome. Well, there's my dog.
Shout out to the recording dog. Thanks for popping your head in, Boa. Good pup.
It's okay. It's okay. She's got a cone on her head.
Oh, poor thing. But yeah, I do love that industrial sound. And it's really like it's grungy, but not like aggressive. It's like very
I
like
mean, to me,
mellow.
I like. Yeah, it's not too like punk kind of grunge or anything like that.
Kind of almost like a
It's
Nirvana, but not quite that level.
yeah.
It's you know what it reminds me of?
But what's that?
Do you remember DFO, the Gold Tunnel song I played?
Oh yeah.
Where it was kind of like that rock operatic kind of feeling.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this has got a real similar
I
feeling.
can see that connection.
I like this part, this breakdown.
The breakdown is like.
Yeah.
I like the slight also Mega Man esque riff that it has for a moment,
Yeah.
and then the guitar like comes back in and takes over.
Yeah, I caught that. And the ending there, that that's good. Man, I love every time we get to hear a song from Spider. It's a delight every single time.
Yeah, and like I said, the hunt continues for a replacement copy of this game.
Indeed. Well, I've actually I've got a good follow up to this, Matt.
Oh, cool.
So you remember the song I played from Mercenary Kings, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I believe I played one of the battle themes, one of the boss themes.
Yeah, it was one of the boss themes that you played.
So I'm gonna play the assembly line theme. So I feel like that fits pretty well.
To me that does, yeah.
It's also just Facility 1, because this game's soundtrack, depending on either if you go by like the stage area or like the official title, it's a lot of like Jungle 1, Jungle 2, Dam 1, Dam 2, Facility 1, Facility 2, Temple 1, Temple 2, kind of that style, where it's just simple
Yeah.
name 1 and 2. So this is Facility 1, or the Assembly Line theme.
Facility 1, assembly line.
I think you're really gonna like this one, because this one has a really good like, kind of it's got a it's a jam, and it's very like it's got like a funky techno rhythm kind of, and it's got a
Okay.
great bass backbeat.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a fun
Yeah, I gotta
one.
hear this one.
So Mercenary Kings, Facility 1, Assembly Line by Patrice Bergerwalt. How'd that one do it for you, Matt?
For me, that one was pretty chill.
Right? I really like that middle part where the it like one I like the whole song, but
Hmm.
I like the dun 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 dun, like that part in the middle.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah, that
bass
part
is
in the middle
so
was really cool.
good.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I really enjoyed just the
Like
like for me, I really enjoyed that. And then when it got into, I guess, the bleep bloops.
yeah, because this I'll let it probably play through two more times, just because it's a pretty short loop. But I like how it's got it's a short like 1 minute 30, but it doesn't like repeat any of the parts. Like it's got like multiple different like 15-second segments that is like really
Mhm.
cohesive together, but like each part is different than the last one. Like it builds, and I like this part. This is
Yeah,
kind of almost got
the
that Mega Man
bleep
feel too.
bloops.
Like this part's pretty chill, and it's once it gets into this middle part is where I really get into it. This is my favorite part.
Yeah, and like I can see because like this is what Facility 1 assembly line. Like I can see like the machinery and stuff with the music.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's definitely conveyor belts that are annoying to deal with.
Oh yeah.
And then this is that part where it kind of gets into that like more techno jammy style. And here's those beat boops you were talking about. Where this just sounds like very arcade game, like Super Nintendo,
Oh,
or
yeah.
rather NES, not Super Nintendo. Yeah, I love how it just goes through like multiple different. It's one of those songs that just like keeps changing on you.
It does. It's like you're like, okay, yeah, I can see this, and then it's just like, all right, well, here's
Here's
this
this.
part of the song.
Here's
now.
this
It's like,
section.
oh.
I'll play it through one more time, because it's a short one, as we said. Yeah, because like this part's pretty simple. I'm like, okay, yeah, this song's not bad. Not too much going on. Just like it's like establishing that rhythm, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well let's add on these bleep bloops. And like again, the part that comes immediately after this, it is such like a just sick, nasty bass breakdown. Right here, this jam. It's so good. I'm bringing those just dirty bass jams this episode. I love the just dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. It's such a good rhythm. It's not like too over the top, but that back rhythm is just so good. And then it just like keeps adding more bloops to it. I don't know how much Mercenary Kings you've played, Matt, but it's a real fun game. And this...
I never got to really play too much, but I do remember you and our friend Richard playing through.
Oh yeah, this area is kind of I would say latter like 30% of the game. It's pretty deep into it.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to, yeah, I had a perfect follow up. I was gonna save that one for a little later. I didn't want to do, back to back dirty bass, but you played an assembly line, so I was like, well, this is the right time.
It was the right time, and I applaud you for it.
So this episode had to get cut in half. Me and Matt had some busy adult life things to do, and this is going to be a second half of this recording. That being said, Matt, I do believe it was your turn next, correct?
Yes, I do believe you are correct.
So the last song we played was the Mercenary Kings facility theme, and it had that real good grooving guitar.
Yeah, it did. So my next one comes to us from Nobuo Uematsu.
Okay.
And it is regular battle theme known as Dragon Fight from the game Blue Dragon.
Ah, yes, we've heard a song from Blue Dragon before, but it's not this one. I think that was was it the boss theme that we played?
It was the boss theme during the vocals episode.
Yes, indeed.
Which that one took you by surprise.
It did. So I'm looking forward to hearing just the normal battle theme.
Normal battle theme is actually pretty decent.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and get right into it. So this is Dragon Fight from Blue Dragon, composed by Nobuo Uematsu.
It was kind of short, but I was really into that. That had a great rhythm to it.
Yeah, that one's got a short loop, but I really enjoy. I was going for the guitar. As a follow up.
I was gonna say I like the way the instrument sounds. It's a bit different than like a Final Fantasy sound, but it's kind. You can definitely has that Uematsu feel.
It does. To me, the battle theme for Blue Dragon kind of reminds me of like something I would probably hear in Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah. It does. It does sound kind of
not
8-ish.
really in the beginning, but like kind of like towards the mid.
Yeah. Not this part so much. This part's almost Castlevania-y.
Yeah.
Around here,
this part right here is what makes me think of Final Fantasy VIII, kind of like the man with the machine gun kind of feel. Or,
it kind of has that like synthy sound.
Yeah.
I like this part here. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, it's got a great rhythm to it.
Yeah, I didn't catch the correlation to like a Castlevania to it, so maybe that's another reason why I really like it.
Yeah, certainly. It does have like a. It's hard for me to like put into words like what I like about it. I really like just the instruments, the way they sound. Like I like the synth guitar and just the overall like. It's not quite an organ, but it's kind of just like a.
It's a keyboard.
Yeah, I just like the way. I really like the way the synth sounds. I'm into it.
Yeah, I think Nobu did a really good job for Blue Drum.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was really digging the boss theme, and that battle theme was it was really amped for just a normal battle theme.
Right.
It sounded a lot more intense than like a normal, just straight up battle should. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just like I don't know. It seemed more high energy than was called for like random encounter. You know.
Yeah.
Matt, do you want to hear from a game? Do you want to hear from a game you haven't heard?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want another one that like Great Battle 5?
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a song from not only a game one I haven't played again, and from a system that has not been featured yet.
Oh.
The TurboGrafx 16.
Oh God, yeah.
We have not touched that at all.
No.
That being said, I'm going to play a song from the game Bloody Wolf. It's kind of a run-and-gun Contra-esque styled game.
Well, dang, I like the title.
Yeah? And I'm going to play you the Stage 5 theme.
Oh, sticking with the fives there.
Yeah. Went from Great Battle 5 to Bloody Wolf Stage 5, so throwing these things you've never heard of at you. I don't know an exact composer for this. There is 5 people who worked on the game. So I'll just name all of them. It's Asuza Hara, Hiraoka Yoshida, Tatsuya Kiyoichi, Hitomi Komatsu, and Shuji Sakawa. And I don't know who composed this song, but that is the list of the people who composed the game.
The fives.
Yes. Ironically enough, another 5. But yeah, man, let's just play this and our first TurboGrafx 16 track, and you know what? Tell me what you think.
No, I'm excited.
All right, let's get into it.
But I was really digging that. I mean, that was actually pretty chill.
Right? It's I mean it's really like chill is like a perfect word for it. It's kind of like it's kind of almost got like a I don't want to say a sexy vibe to it, but almost, you know? That's a Valentine's Day banger right there,
It's like the 16-bit of Michael Bolton.
right? It's definitely a groove. How's that on your? Is that making its way to your top 10, Matt? Bloody Wolf Stage 5.
I don't know if it's going to be in my top 10, but I did really enjoy it.
It's a good one. I love just this opening. It's so like old school tinny, and then this pew. I love that beer noise.
I enjoy the constant bass of like the slap sound.
Right? I love the little. I love that. That's that like the quite almost sexy sound I'm talking about. The like the beer, that little background trail back there, and then right here, it's romantic sounding. I'm into it.
Man. Good lord. Like, hearing this song, I wouldn't expect it to be like a little side-scroller shoot-em-up.
Nah, not at all. I love, and the name Bloody Wolf too is not you weren't expecting this like chill. Right here, it's like jazz.
Yeah.
It's just a real chill track. And then it's got this breakdown right here. And then back to the beow. I think that beow noise is my favorite. Yeah, I thought I'd give you a nice little surprise with Bloody Wolf.
Like I said, I did enjoy that.
I've got some songs that seem obvious, and then some surprises on this episode. So thought I'd throw out another surprise for you.
Well, thank you.
What direction are you taking us? Because we've played some amped up tracks. I thought it'd be time to maybe chill it down a little bit.
I'm going to take us to the castle, Derek.
Which castle?
The Castlevania.
Ah, yes. It's been some time since we've been to Castlevania.
Yeah, and this one's going to be back to pumping it up a little bit more in the tempo.
Okay. A lot of amped tracks on your list, seems like.
Well, yeah.
that's just the mood you were feeling.
Yeah, it was. So the song that I decided to pick was Sorrow's Distortion from Castlevania Order of Ecclesia.
Ah, this is a good one. Order of Ecclesia is a great game. Not super well known, I wouldn't say. I think...
surprisingly not.
Yeah, I mean, it's a DS. It's one of the 3 DS Castlevanias, and by the way, all 3 of the DS Castlevanias are really good. But I think they're a little bit less well known than some of the other ones.
Yeah, because I mean,
Order of Ecclesia in particular.
Because, there wasn't like, oh cool, we get to play as the whip wielders today.
Yeah, I think a lot of people of Dawn of Sorrow because you get to play as Soma Cruz. Portrait of Ruin I've heard talk about a lot, but I almost never hear people talking about Ecclesia, even though it's really good.
I mean, I really enjoyed a lot of the combat systems and the special abilities that you get.
You can steal from
Ecclesia.
enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into this track, and we'll talk about how it sounds.
Alrighty. Well, this is Sorrow's Distortion from Castlevania Order of Ecclesia by Michiru Yamane.
Yeah, I was into the drums in particular on that one.
The drums are good. I like the opening with the organ
Yeah,
because that doesn't really get repeated.
let me play that opening real quick. Oh yeah, this organ is really good.
It's like, here's the start of the level, and then, like, there it goes, like the drums, the guitar.
Yeah, yeah, and the way Castlevania games work is like every songs will correlate to like different areas a lot. So basically, you'll enter a new area and you'll be greeted with that organ sound, and every time you come back to this area, that'll be like the first thing that greets you.
That's so cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the way that sounds. It reminds me of I mean, I was gonna draw a specific example, but there's actually a lot of things it reminds me of, like a nice like long held note organ opening. A lot of examples and just a lot of things like that. Chrono Trigger, for example. A lot of final bosses do things like that.
Oh yeah.
It's a very like. I could just name like a random game and like Super Mario RPG actually. That final boss does a very like intense organ opening that I like a lot.
Oh yeah.
But the general rhythm, I love this. How driving those drums are.
The drums are definitely, I would say, the star for this.
Mm-hmm. They keep a very good steady rhythm that's just does not let up.
No, they're going pretty hard. They're trying to drive you forward to, complete your goal for the area.
And I like that little just minor breakdown and then the cymbal hits.
Oh yeah.
Where basically all the music stops and it's just
and then it's just like, all right, kick it in again, guys.
Kick it back in with that like, I don't know what to call this guitar, but it's like, it's got that just like dirty sound. It's kind of like the guitar is kind of like grindy,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to call that though. But the notes don't sound clean, but like in a good, like that's not a bad thing. It makes like the rhythm the way it sounds. Where they're like, it sounds like the guitar has a sore throat. Because it's like, grrr. if that makes sense at all, what I'm trying to say. Like, I like how it's like.
I'll say quick side note just about the game. One of the cool things that I like about the main characters is not only are you able to take some enemy abilities, but I just like the runic weapons.
Yeah.
That she uses.
Yeah, Shanoa is a very cool main character, and I love seeing like a badass female Castlevania character.
Oh yeah.
Just because there's so many like males that are prevalent throughout the series, I love seeing like just you play as this girl. She's awesome, by the way. All right, well, Matt, thank you for that foray into a castle.
You're welcome.
I think in that regards, I'm going to keep us in a dungeon.
What?
Yes. I'm gonna play a song from one of our favorite games to play songs from, Matt.
Oh man. We got a lot.
We do. But you know which one we always have fun with, despite the fact that the game's not very good?
Is it Mystic Quest?
It is. It's sad. I feel bad that's such a well way to describe it, but yes, it is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Yes.
I love the soundtrack for this game so much, even though, as we've said, it's not a bad game. It really isn't. It's just incredibly simple. But it's got such good music. Our boy Ryuji Sasai, just so good. So I'm gonna play the Bone Dungeon, which has a really nice like chill sound. It's very heroic and triumphant, but it's got like a great rhythm to it.
All right, Derek. Well, let's get to this quest.
This
of
mystical
mystic
quest.
proportions.
This mystical quest of music. Alright, this is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, The Bone Dungeon, composed by Ryuji Sasai. So Matt, due to this, being the very first dungeon in the game, I love how it's got that like very like heroic, triumphant sound.
It does.
And I don't know if you had both your headphones in, but it's got a really interesting dual audio effect, like a call and response, where like I guess it's like the bassoon does like a note, and then the on the left ear, and then the right ear picks up like a higher pitched version of it.
I think I heard what you were talking about.
It's very interesting, and I just like the general rhythm to it. How it makes you want to like push forward in this dungeon, but then it does have like a little bit of that sorrow feel, but not too much.
Yeah, just a little bit of it. One of my favorite parts. Well, actually, I'll tell you two of my favorite parts to this. One is that flute trill that comes in.
Yeah, this is the it does there, and then it does the call and response. I really like this part. And here it gets kind of grungy sounding.
This is my second favorite part, is with the that calling bass where it's like
yeah, I really like that. And here it kind of goes, kind of like a mystical sound like almost.
I'd say this sounds more like soldiery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. It's very adventurous. Dun, 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 dun. It goes like soldiery, adventurous, grunge, repeat. I love that background bass. You're talking about the dun 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 dun. But here's the call and response thing I was talking about. It does like the little piccolo flute, like ding, here in the left ear, and then the right ear does like the bassoon response.
Yep, yeah, I got it.
I think that's really interesting. The song's got like 3 distinct parts to it. It's the call and response part, then the soldier like march part, and then the grunge like real dungeon sounding part. I love Mystic Quest soundtrack. It always makes me smile. It always makes me want to hum it.
Yeah, the Mystic Quest soundtrack, like, you know, as compared to like the rest of the game, is probably
it's the best part of it. It's the best part of it, absolutely. I love it.
Oh man, I always enjoy a good Mystic Quest pick.
Oh, always. Anytime I get a chance to let that soundtrack shine, I have to. Gotta go for it. It still remains to have one of my all-time favorite final boss themes, and we'll hear that soon.
Soon enough.
Good. Top 10 of the year. 10 tracks from Mystic Quest. Oh man, gotta love Mystic Quest. But it is now your turn to take us on a quest.
It is, and I'm going to take us on a quest from Ray Kondo.
Ah, is this an Okami track?
No, it isn't. It's a Bayonetta track. So the song that I picked from Bayonetta is Let's Dance Boys. Now, okay. I'm not still entirely too sure where this song comes in. Sadly, I haven't really played too much of Bayonetta like I want to, but I really enjoy the soundtrack from the game.
Yes, the soundtrack is great.
And you'll hear it when it starts playing, but for me, this particular song has a Disgaea battle sound to it.
Interesting. All right, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, so we'll go ahead and jump right in. So this is Let's Dance Boys from Bayonetta by Ray Kondo.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I can see what you meant about the Disgaea feel.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely got like that Disgaea battle feel to it, and that's like one of the reasons why I really love it. But I really enjoy the saxophone and brass line to it.
Oh yeah, the saxophone and the brass go hard. That's like the
Oh yeah.
that's the main appeal to that song, I think.
I mean, it is. It definitely is. I mean, it's to me, it's like the brass lines in the front, but like the sax is like right there, just behind them, keeping the rhythm the whole way.
And the piano too. There's a bit of piano in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, saxophone, good brass line, just in general. Piano. That's all you need to make a good jazzy song.
It is, and the song, like the feel of the song itself, feels like, Bayonetta.
Yes, 100%. This song really, really carries like her, like the feeling of her personality.
Yeah.
Especially with the name "Let's Go Boys," like you can tell, like, just she's over it. She's just gonna do her. She's gonna rock out.
Let's go kick gunning.
Let's go gun kicking, and with just that, like, I mean, cool is the way to describe it.
Oh yeah.
It's just cool sounding, cool feeling, all around, jazzy goodness. Like just a nice
I
jazz
really enjoy
club.
the sax.
The sax is great.
Is.
I like the little
And I love the builds. Oh, yeah.
It's simple, but it's just.
I like this right here, where it's like darn it, and then just like drops down. And,
oh yeah.
Like kind of like grooves you out again.
Absolutely, it's got such a good, such good like swells up in the music, and then they just groove out. I wanted to tune it up real quick for that part. That's a good one. And Matt, you make my next track very easy.
Oh boy.
Because I have a song from Disgaea.
Oh man.
I must have been secretly vibing with you on this one. I picked a song from Disgaea 2.
Oh god, which one?
Do you have a song from Disgaea 2 on your list?
I do.
Now this is interesting. This has a very similar feeling to Final Fantasy Tactics, where I know the music, I just don't know the names.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be incredibly interesting if we played the same song. But the song I picked is Akuma Drops.
Okay, no, we did not pick the same one.
Okay, I'm interested to see which one you picked then, because I was leaning at. I listened to the whole soundtrack because I've actually been playing Disgaea 2 recently. Just I was in the mood, so I was playing it, and
as you do.
Yeah, no, as you do. And I was listening to it, and I was like, I forgot how good the soundtrack in this game is. So I was like, let's go ahead and listen to it and pick one for the next Freeplay episode. So yeah, this is gonna be Disgaea 2. Akuma Drops by Tenpei Sato. So Matt, if you remember, that song plays two times in the game. One, primarily it's the song that plays if you try to persuade the Dark Assembly by force. And the other one, it plays during, I think, one of the chapters when you're in the swamp.
I think you're right. I think I was thinking of the swamp, but I completely forgot about the Dark Assembly. That's definitely the most common place you're going to hear it.
Yeah. Not that you generally should persuade by force, but hey, sometimes you gotta.
Yeah, I wouldn't persuade by force unless you're fully ready for that.
I mean, you could always do throw shenanigans, but that's besides the point.
It's true.
Now, what were your thoughts on the actual song? I love this opening, by the way.
Oh.
That doesn't play throughout the entire thing again. I love that little mysterious sounding opening.
And like those little parts right there, it's like
Yeah. It's got so many like distinct sounds and parts to the song. This song makes me want to like wiggle my head back and forth. It's definitely a song that you bob to.
It's definitely a song you get idle animation to.
Oh yeah. You got your dukes up, you're wiggling your head back and forth. Your idle animation. Now, what are your favorite parts of this one?
I like the violin
Yeah.
kind of sounds to it.
I like how many different times the song like changes.
Like right there at the end of that drop where it's just like the
I like that little part in there that sounds like Golden Sun. With the whistling sound almost.
Yeah.
It's got a very Golden Sun feeling to me. It's a very Camelot game.
Yeah, and like the beginning of it, like it has like this. I don't know if I would say like an Egyptian, but like a
Yeah, no, I know
like
what you mean.
deserty, like that deserty kind of like mystic kind of.
Yeah. Right here, it's very it's got that mystery to it in it too, but kind of a different sound. This
It's like
song just takes you on a
like
journey.
mystery carnival.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like almost like a haunted, spooky fair. And then it goes back to this groove part. I'm interested to see which Disgaea 2 song you had. If you decide to, if you play that next.
I think I actually will play it next for you.
All right.
I know it's the same game, but
It makes sense.
I'm amused that we both picked the same game
Yeah.
and didn't get the same song.
Not quite as ridiculous as the McDonald's Treasureland Adventure debacle, but
Oh my god,
uh,
those are greatest.
that was one of the most baffling moments on the podcast, I think, so far.
I found this weird game. Oh, so did I. Wait, what?
Oh man, but what is the song from Disgaea 2 that you picked? Because it's probably because I was between like 3 different ones, and I want to know if it's the same one that I was one of the ones the one I chose not to pick.
Well, the one that I picked was the song that plays during the quote-unquote boss fight against Laharl.
Ah, yes, I believe he's a side quest, optional boss.
He's an optional boss, but if you remember right, going through the story normally, you actually encounter him and fight him, because he's the one who breaks the seal.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. It took me a while. I was like,
Yeah.
I remember you get owned by Etna near the beginning of the game, but I forgot the Lahara one happens too.
Yeah, the Laharl happens because like he shows up to this netherworld to be like, hey, where's Etna?
That's right. I can remember. Yeah.
I need my lackeys back.
Gotta bop some people. All right. Well, let's get into this. This isn't one of the ones that I had written down.
Aha.
It is a different one than I was planning.
Was your other one Holy Mansion?
That was one of them.
That
Yeah,
was my other one.
yeah. That
That was
was
one of my choices.
that was also on there. All right. Well, I believe same composer, correct?
Yep, same composer coming at you from Tenpei Sato.
All right. Let's get
This
into
is
it.
the Laharl boss battle from Disgaea 2.
I enjoy the spooky and like powerful sound of that song.
Oh yeah, I mean, like right off as it starts with the like you're just like, oh crap, this is gonna be a tough fight.
Yeah, it's as soon as you get into it, it's got that this is a force loss sounding fight.
Yeah,
You
because
hear
you're
this?
just like, okay, I remember Laharl from like the other game, and then you like scroll over to him, and you're like, oh god, he's got a lightsaber.
You're like, this music's intense. Am I supposed to win this fight? And then you look at his stats. You're like, no, I'm not supposed to win this fight. This is one of those fights that I lose.
Like,
The
okay,
music definitely
well,
conveys that. Like the music's like, you're not. No, just stop. You don't have this. I love how it it still has like the almost goofy sound of Laharl though in there.
the
with
what
those,
now? I'm
like-
sorry.
I said it's still got that like goofy Laharl sound in there just a little bit with like wah 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 wah. Yeah, it's still got that
Yeah.
like classic kind of not like goofy, but like if you listen to Disgaea 1's soundtrack, especially like the main castle theme, you'll understand what I mean.
Oh yeah.
That just like boom boom. Yeah, it's. I like how it has just the subtlest hints and refrains to his theme in there.
It does a little bit, and then like the chanting that comes into it is just like
It just all screams
I
like
can never
strong, like
make
power.
yeah I can never make clear like what they're saying, so it's like one of those things where it's like you hear it and you like make up your own words for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if I've actually listened to hear like if it's a certain language or if it's kind of just like an operatic chant that has no actual words to it.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite parts is whenever it's like just like the brass that takes over.
Mm-hmm. You you and me love just a good brass.
Yeah, whenever it's just like the brass, because there's a moment where it's just like the brass just kicks in for a minute. Before, I think it's just right before like it goes back into like a loop.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the classic GBA Ruby Sapphire like brass trumpet line.
I could see where that inspiration's coming from. That that just like when you hear that you're like oh that this boss is gonna beat the crap out of me, isn't it? And yes, the answer is yes. Yeah. Yes is the answer to that question. All right, Matt. I think I'm gonna mix it up on you.
Okay.
Game we've heard before. Good old. One of my last songs came from a dungeon, but now I think it's time to fight some dungeons.
Uh-oh.
You know what,
the dungeon fighter?
You know what it's time for. It's time for a good old DFO track.
It's time to play as a person who fights a literal dungeon.
fight the dungeon. So the place I'm taking you this time, there's a part of the game where you go to a very, very Asian-inspired city called Ghent. And it's under siege by like military cartel. Really interesting part of the game, and each like stage is like the south gate, the north gate, the east gate, because basically you're defending the city.
Okay.
Yeah. So the song I picked is the North Ghent Gate stage theme. So again, don't really have composers for this. It's a very large online game. It's the only composer information I have is the Studio Doma. But that being said, this is a track from DFO or DNF, depending on your region. This is the North Ghent Gate. And I think you'll like the Asiatic feel of this one, Matt. So Matt, the vibe I get from that song is if Dynasty Warriors was Mega Man.
Oh man, could you imagine a Dynasty Warriors Mega Man game?
Right? Or a Mega Man Dynasty Warriors game.
Oh.
How did you like it though?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, all of the tracks from DFO are very pumped, which I mean,
they're so good.
They yeah.
Like for like people don't really think of online games as like great OST, but some of them have really good. Like you played a really great World of Warcraft song, and every song I've pulled from DFO has been a banger.
World of Warcraft has some amazing compositions to it.
Yeah,
Because I mean, there's I can't remember because I never got really deep into playing World of Warcraft. But I know there was a specific quest that you could do that you did in the game, and the reward was this. It was a song. I got to look it up because it was a vocal song, and it was just beautiful to listen to.
yeah. And Final Fantasy 14 has some great music. I think one day soon I want to do a focus just on 14 because it's got such good music, and I'd love to talk a lot about it.
I actually played the nighttime theme for Ul'dah in our Towns episode.
Indeed, yeah. But this song in particular, Matt, I really love like the Asian feel to it, but it's got that like just that good rock too. This part coming up right here is what I really like. I'm really into this part of the song. This is the part that sounds Mega Man to me.
Oh yeah, I mean that kind of rhythm to it. I mean it's very like X feel to it, Mega Man X feel.
Oh yeah, 100%. But it's interesting how like I'm gonna let it play through one more time because that track abruptly ends. But it's interesting how it has like the guitar feel, but it still manages to sound like very Asian inspired because it's got like those very Asian drums in there, and the strings too. And those boings. It's very Okami Dynasty Warriors sounding right there. This is the part that sounds Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. Another song that has like a really good like Asian inspired like battle feel is the theme that plays whenever you fight Mizutsune.
Yes.
Monster Hunter.
I love that. I love that one. That's probably one if we do a Monster Hunter focus. That's one I definitely want to play. I
can't wait for the Monster Hunter episode.
I was between a lot of different songs in this because I have like I legitimately have like a list of like 70 songs from DFO that I like. And anytime I feel like whipping one out, I'm like, I refer to that list. I'm like, what was a good one? I've got a huge list here.
You're like, oh, we're doing a free play? Cool. Let me spin the wheel.
Let's get a good one. And pretty much all of the songs from Ghent have like this really, really just cool Asian sounding to the music. I really like how the composer made like these 7 different dungeons all have like a distinct sound, but like carries that like really, really interesting Eastern quality to the music.
Yeah, so so each stage has its own theme, but overall, I mean, you're still in the same place.
Yeah. That was my DFO track for the week, Matt. What do you got for me? What do you have as your final track?
My final track comes from a game that I have not played, and I believe
is it Great Battle 5?
It's not Great Battle 5.
Darn.
Good lord, if I had that pick, I would have thrown that out instantly.
It's a good one.
No, the song that I picked is the first battle theme from the game Octopath Traveler.
Octopath Traveler is amazing.
I've not played it. I wasn't sure if you played it at all.
Yes, I heavily recommended this game.
Great. So that's another one I gotta add to my damn list.
You do. You really, really do. But yes, let's play this track, because it's a good one.
All right. Well, this is Battle 1 from Octopath Traveler, composed by Yasunori Nishiki. So not playing this game yet and hearing this, it definitely makes me want to play it because this battle theme, like I really like it. I like the tempo, each instrumental part. I mean, to me, just sounds very clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This game basically.
I like that little beginning, the dun 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 dun. And you're like, oh no, something's coming up.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to. It's a great start to a battle, and what I really appreciate is I'll let that play one more time, because I've played a lot of RPGs. It's probably my most played genre of video game, and the thing that makes a battle theme good, I think, is one, if it's a battle theme you're going to hear a lot, you don't want it to be annoying.
Yeah.
That is to say, like, many times if you're grinding an RPG, you'll hear the battle theme, but you'll only hear maybe the first 30 seconds or even shorter. And you want one that doesn't have too abrasive of an opening or too repetitive of an opening. I really like how it has that like opening trill, but then like the music completely drops for like a calm before it gets into it. And I think that's really good. It does this little calm part. And then it gets into the music. Like, it doesn't immediately hit you in the face with the main rhythm. I like how it does the little calm part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't played through this game entirely. I did play through the demo, and I've seen a lot of gameplay. Unfortunately, I was a little cash strapped when this first came out, so I couldn't pick it up.
Yeah.
So I would actually love for you and me to play through this.
I think it'll be a good chance for us both to dip into a game that we haven't really done much with.
Yeah. Now, from what I know of it, I basically have zero story spoilers, but I've seen some combat and I've seen some character stuff. From what I know of it, it's basically like if you are a fan of classic Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, that traditional RPG style, you will love this game. Everyone I know who likes RPGs has spoke immense praises of this game.
Nice.
From what I've heard, it's basically it's incredible. Like, the art is gorgeous, the characters are entertaining, there's a lot of them, they're very unique and interesting. They have, like, defined roles, which is a great thing in a video game. And the combat system is just fun, and it's just really good, from what I know of it.
I love it when an RPG gives you multiple characters for your party, but at the same time it also gets...
Like, they feel different.
Yeah, for me, it also gets like a little bit like, frustrating because you're just like, who do I want to use?
Yeah. I believe there's 4 characters, there's 8 characters, and you can have 4 in your party. I might be wrong about that number. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's always a struggle, especially in an RPG where the characters are so, like, fleshed out and unique. You're always like, which one do I want in my party? But the nice thing about this is...
Oh, no.
The cool thing about this is, like, each character can use different things, like the knight guy can use swords and spears, I believe, and axes. And the way this game works is enemies will be weak to something, like... not just, like, enemy won't be weak to physical, enemy will be weak to, like, specifically spears. So, like, you'll want to have him out and have him using a spear to break his weakness.
Oh.
And then maybe another enemy is weak to just bows, so you'll want to swap him out to the person that has the bows.
Well, that's pretty cool.
It's interesting, yeah. If you played Bravely Default, right? And you enjoyed that?
Yeah.
It has an interesting take on, like, the taking multiple turns kind of style.
Ah.
Yeah, it's got something similar to that, but you'll have to see. I definitely want to do a playthrough of this together with you.
And you get me more excited for it.
Mm-hmm. I do love how clean the music sounds. You can tell it was designed to, like, sound like a traditional RPG, but it was made with, like, modern instruments and, like, modern sound design.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you for your last track.
You're welcome.
As we say, it is that time of the day. It's that time of the episode.
That time of the episode, we
played some great ones this
down.
one. A lot of really good tracks this episode, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's hard for me to tell which one's my favorite, but if you people listening, if you had a favorite one, or even like multiple ones you really liked, tell us which ones really caught you by surprise or you're just grooving to. We love hearing that.
Oh yeah. I mean, this was our freestyle episode. I mean, obviously there's like thousands of different songs that we could have picked for this.
Yeah, I mean, to hundreds of thousands of just with no constraints. You can just play anything. And apparently we didn't hold anything back. We played some of our real good ones, I think. And we want to thank you so much for listening. If you have a friend or person who likes video game music, please share it to them. Tell them we got some great songs, and tell them, hey, I bet you never heard of Great Battle 5.
You ever heard of Great Battle 5? No? Alright, cool. We'll listen to this.
Check this song out. I heard it from this podcast.
Hey, you know that new sound you've been looking for? Well, listen to this.
It turns out it's Bloody Wolf the whole time. Oh man. But it's time for us to wind down the episode, and I was wondering what to finish this off with, And I decided I'm going to go with a classic, one that me and Brandon specifically mentioned last episode on the space episode. We were talking about how Star Fox Corneria theme is just so iconic and just so great sounding.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but it wasn't a space song. You fly through a city in that one, so neither one of us decided it was appropriate. So, but it's such a good song that I want to play it on this podcast, and I figured let's close out the episode with it.
Hey, I'm all down for that.
So, thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoy Star Fox Corneria, composed by Hajime Hirasawa. We'll see you in the next one, everyone.
Have a good one, guys.